Troops from Georgia are making their way to the southern border. This as Marines reinforce the section of wall near San Ysidro, California. President Donald Trump is ramping up efforts he says will make the U.S. safer. And tonight, fear and anxiety. Advocates of the Latino community say that's what many people in Atlanta are feeling after the Trump administration oversaw another day of nearly 1,000 arrests to those living in this country illegally. The White House tonight is celebrating the deportation efforts. Atlanta News First senior reporter Patrick Quinn is live along Buford Highway. Patrick, some advocates want local leaders to take a stronger stance against these arrests.
Some supporters, rather, of the Latino community here, they're urging state leaders to say no, that no is an appropriate answer if ICE calls asking for assistance in arrests of those under suspicion of being in the country illegally. Now, today I spoke with DeKalb County Police Chief Mirtha Ramos. She said up to this point, she has not provided any officers for any of these arrests, and she said she will only do so if the law instructs her to. For many, each arrest only amplifies uneasiness.
There's a lot of concern and anxiety in our community. That's part of the intent of the administration, is to unfortunately spread fear and terrorize our community.
By now, many of you have seen these pictures. Agents from Atlanta's Drug Enforcement standing along ICE, U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, over the weekend arresting those in Metro Atlanta suspicious of being in the country illegally. And today, new Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem on the ground in New York, overseeing ICE arrests there. ICE said they made an additional 969 arrests in the last 24 hours across the country. Jerry Gonzalez, CEO of Galileo Impact Fund, an advocacy group for the Latino community in Metro Atlanta, said some of those arrests were in Georgia as well.
We've heard that there's some operations still happening today.
Like right now?
Yes.
In Metro Atlanta?
In Georgia.
This afternoon, White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt defended the ICE arrests, clarifying even those without a violent history can be arrested and deported if they're in the country illegally.
I know the last administration didn't see it that way, so it's a big culture shift in our nation to view someone who breaks our immigration laws as a criminal, but that's exactly what they are.
Gonzalez believes the Trump administration is overstepping immigration law.
The administration can't be trusted to tell us the truth. They have lied into what they're doing right now. Being in this country is a criminal violation, it is a civil violation, and there is a distinction in front of the law.
And there will be a Latino Day at the Georgia State Capitol on February 5th. No doubt these arrests will come to a head in front of state lawmakers there. Along Buford Highway tonight, Patrick Quinn, Atlanta News First.
Right.